When a giant crocodile appeared near a small town in Sudan, villagers soon realized something was wrong. Not only was it a particularly large specimen, it also behaved very strangely. When people found out why, they couldn't believe their eyes. While crocodiles roam the waters in search of food, the locals are in a constant struggle for survival. The children of the villagers are taught from an early age to stay away from the areas where the crocodiles are most likely to be. A face-to-face confrontation cannot do any good. At least, that's what everyone always assumes. Michael is a 38-year-old man who has lived his entire life in a small village in Sudan. He also met his wife there. He started a family with her. The village is near the Nile, and Michael's family has a small farm where they produce enough food to support themselves almost 3 times. Michael is perceived by the villagers as an amazing human being, but he is also known for another notable personality trait: his fearlessness. Above all, his family knows this better than anyone. Most of the time, Michael was successful with his actions, and the city loved him for it. You could almost say he was the unofficial leader. When this particular situation arose recently, everyone turned to Michael. Although the small village was close to the Nile, they didn't often encounter aquatic threats like crocodiles or hippos. The villagers knew not to get too close to certain stretches of the river. In this way, they avoided danger to this day, because one day one of these dangerous predators had ventured beyond the river. Nothing like this had ever happened since Michael had lived in the village. That the animal had come out of the raft was already a problem, but that was not all. It had positioned itself in the worst possible place. The giant crocodile, the largest any villager had seen before, had lain down in the passage the villagers had built to bring water from the Nile to their farms. The crocodile now blocked almost all of the water. Some women went to the river to do their laundry. There they discovered this huge creature. They were shocked, but then they discovered something. After taking a closer look, they saw that the crocodile was blocking their water supply. The women immediately turned to Michael for a solution. Michael immediately took action, because there was no time to lose. It was a miracle that this huge animal ended up in this place. Michael could now see with his own eyes that almost every movement of this giant crocodile was in slow motion. Many possibilities were discussed among the villagers, and one of the most common suggestions was to kill the animal and then round up all the villagers to help with the transport. But Michael was against it. He was taught the value of life from an early age, and killing this unusually large crocodile would not be a good deed in his eyes. Luckily, Michael knew exactly who to turn to with this problem. A few weeks ago, a visitor came to town to discuss how they were dealing with wildlife issues. That suited him very well now. This man was able to help Michael save the giant crocodile. The man was an animal rights activist and had tried to persuade others to avoid killing large and rare animals as much as possible. He believed that if there was a problem, people should call him first. Michael did so and called the man to ask for his help. The animal rights activist named Jason had come to Sudan from the UK and was tasked with preserving the lives of rare animals as much as possible. But the villagers could not wait until their water supply was working again. They had to come up with something new. With the message that Jason wouldn't make it to them in time, the idea of killing the crocodile came up again. Jason begged and pleaded to let the animal live. He even promised to send some extra food packets to the village as a reward. After a long discussion, Michael managed to convince the villagers to keep the animal alive. Instead of killing it, they should try to help it. But how? Jason couldn't be in the village for another 5 days. That would take too long. They had to come up with another solution. That's when Michael thought of a leading vet in the alligator world from the USA, with whom he had been in sporadic contact since her stay a few years ago. Michael arranged a video conference with her so they could show her the animal, and hopefully she would give them some advice on what to do next. Michael began walking around the animal and filming it so the vet could examine it as best they could. After taking a close look at the crocodile, the vet was able to quickly determine what was probably wrong with the animal. The crocodile's stomach had a very unnatural bulge. The vet determined that something had most likely blocked the entrance to the crocodile's stomach. The crocodile had probably swallowed something it couldn't digest. This could make the animal very ill and explain why it could no longer move. It just didn't have any energy. But what had the crocodile swallowed? And more importantly, what could Michael and the other villagers do to solve the problem? The vet told Michael that the only way to save the animal was to get the unknown object out of the crocodile. This was a very dangerous task, and who should do it? Michael told the other villagers what the expert had said. He could feel everyone's eyes turning to him immediately. He knew none of them would be willing to take that risk, and he couldn't blame them either. Michael would have to cut open the crocodile himself. Nobody else would take on this task. In fact, Michael had trained as a veterinarian and had performed a handful of surgeries. But a crocodile was a new challenge for him too. Luckily, he managed to convince the other villagers to help him tame the crocodile. This was very important for Michael's safety. The crocodile was weak, but capable of being very dangerous to a human. They went back to the village to get the necessary supplies. The villagers returned to the crocodile and began tying it up. It was a big action, but the crocodile hardly put up a fight. Another proof of the bad condition it was in. When Michael felt confident enough, he set to work. The vet was again connected via video transmission, and Michael filmed other villagers so the woman could give him instructions. That way, Michael knew what to do to save the crocodile. Luckily, the crocodile hardly reacted, and Michael didn't have to go very deep to find the blockage. After 2 more cuts, he managed to reach the entrance to the stomach. The object that had blocked the crocodile's stomach was immediately pushed out of the hole. Michael could hardly believe it. An old blue soccer ball came out of the crocodile. He didn't see that coming. He was very puzzled as to where the crocodile could have found this object. No one in his village missed such a ball. Who knows how long it had been in the animal's stomach? While Michael tended to the crocodile's wounds, some villagers went to get fresh fish for the animal to eat. In this way, they were able to lure the colossus out of the stream. When they returned, the crocodile was already free of its bonds. The villagers laid a trail with the fish leading to the water, and the crocodile slowly but eagerly began to follow. This freed up the flow of water again. The crocodile would still need some time, however, to recover fully. The villagers cheered and celebrated their success. In particular, they thanked Michael, who had guided them confidently during this difficult phase. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.